Thanks. I feel like I need my reading glasses. Can I read? No. Must.
Good afternoon, everybody, and Happy New Year. Happy 2024. Let it be a healthy and happy and prosperous new year for all of us. I'm now going to call this meeting of the Maplewood Township Committee Reorganization meeting to order. Pursuant to Section 5, Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, this is stated to the record that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public by posting and maintaining the annual notice of regular meetings on the bulletin board of the municipal building, by mailing the annual notice of regular meetings for 2024 to the News Record and Star Ledger in December 2023, and by filing said notice in the office of the Township Clerk. Whereas Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, commonly known as the Open Public Meetings Act, requires all meetings of public bodies be open to the public. And whereas Section 7A provides that the governing body has a discretion to permit, prohibit, or regulate the active participation of the public at any meeting, and whereas desires the governing body to comply with the provision of this act, same time to conduct its business in an orderly and expeditious manner, now therefore be it resolved by the Township Committee, Township of Maplewood, that it does hereby prohibit, except as set forth in the formal agenda, active participation in deliberations of the governing body by the public, and except as otherwise prescribed by law, does limit the public to the observations of the actions and discussions of the governing body at all of its regular and special meetings.
So move.
Second.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Ms. Cripe?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis? Mr. DeLuca?
Here. Yes.
Mrs. Engel?
Yes.
Thank you.
And now for the presentation of the colors by Troop 60 Boy Scouts of America. And we ask everybody to please rise.
Okay.
And now to lead us through the Pledge of Allegiance, please welcome Assemblywoman-elect Maplewood's own Garnett Hall.
Hey, everyone. The best to you in 2024. I have the pleasure and the honor of leading you this morning, and I've asked my granddaughter, Aubrey Gillette, to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to do a roll call. Ms. Adams? Here. Ms. Cripe? Here. Mr. Daffis?
Here.
Mr. DeLuca? Ms. Engel?
Here.
Thank you.
And now please welcome for the national anthem, Carrie Capone, Maplewood resident, and Bill Talley on piano, also Maplewood resident.
Oh, say, can you see the dawn's early light? What so proud we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars the perilous fight, all the roads we launched are so gallantly streaming. And I was oh, so does the star-spangled light dwell on the
Thank you, Carrie. That was beautiful. And could we give Carrie another round of applause? She and her husband are recently married. And now for our invocation, which will be given today by Maplewood Township Committee member Jermaine Cripe, who is also the religious educator at Beacon Unitarian Universalist Congregation in Summit.
Could you join me in a moment of prayer? This is the hour. The time has come. Mindful of our responsibilities as leaders and guardians of this community, we call upon that great cloud of witnesses, those who came before, those who are here now, and those who are yet to come. We seek their presence, love, guidance, and support in this place, in this hour. We call them near as we undertake this sacred work. And this work isn't all straightforward decisions and beautiful moments, nor is it laments and trauma. It's not even both and, because this work is something greater than you, greater than us, greater than the whole of those we serve. This work is a calling, and we're doing it day after day, night after night, page after page, meeting after meeting. We're doing the hard work necessary, the work to which we're called. And that matters. The fact matters because when we feel we did not do enough, or we did not care enough, or that we did not say something enough, still we were there in that moment with that individual or that family, giving, loving, leading. You, me, us. Civil servants and volunteers, witnesses to this, our Maplewood community and all its messy humanity. We are doing it and we will do it again. And every time that we do, Creator, it will be enough, for we cannot give more than we have. And for us, we give what we can when there's nobody else to give. And that is enough. Each of us is enough. We're always enough in your eyes. May it be well with each of us as we embark on this new year as township officials, and may it also be well with these souls entrusted into our care. For however long or however fleeting the moment is, may it be well. Amen. Ashe, and blessed be. Please be seated.
I have the honor of reading a proclamation for Roger Desiderio, and I'm going to ask Roger to come on up here. He just told me he changed his mind. When he saw you stand and I didn't even have to read anything, he said, wow. So we do have a proclamation, and I am going to read it because Roger's history here has been so robust. We want to make sure we capture everything. Whereas in December 2023, Roger Desiderio, Maplewood's longest serving township attorney, retired after 30 years of service. And whereas since being appointed in 1994 by Mayor Ellen Davenport and the Township Committee, Roger served 9 mayors and 25 township committee members and attended more than 750 township committee meetings, amounting to over 3,000 hours at governing body meetings alone. And whereas anyone who has worked with Roger knows his day did not end when town hall closed or a meeting concluded. He consistently advised newly elected and appointed officials, walking them through township policies and procedures and county, state, and federal government laws and regulations. And whereas Roger has been a teacher and a mentor, he understands that we run for office because of our passion for change and desire to get things done. Roger helped us refine our dreams and expectations into ordinances and resolutions, and into ideas and actions. He also encouraged us to ask questions so that we would further understand how government works, both in terms of the law and the bureaucracy. And whereas Roger has been a tireless and passionate advocate for Maplewood and its residents, always standing up for what is right, just, fair, and legal. And whereas Roger served with integrity, distinction, and humility, he was always honest in his interactions with the Township Committee and held his ground when necessary, often providing an answer someone may not have wanted to hear. And that was not an easy task since he was up for appointment every year. And he had to deal with many different personalities on the committee. Nevertheless, during his 30 years, Roger was professional and served the Township Committee very well. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Township Committee of the Township of Maplewood thanks Roger Desiderio for his 30 years of service to Maplewood and recognizes the many contributions Roger has made to improve our community and make life better for all our residents. We value Roger as a friend and colleague and appreciate all he has done. Enjoy your retirement.
This is going to be very short. At the meeting on the 19th, I made my thank yous to everybody. Just a couple of things. First of all, thank you to the committee for this, which was absolutely spectacular and unexpected, but much appreciated. And then I just want to make a couple of quick thank yous. My grandkids are back there. I promise you, this is the last time. Thank you for your support. My daughters, thank you for your support. Denise, thank you. Okay, without her, 30 years, we're married 50 years, 30 years of our marriage were this. So anyway, it was truly a blink of the eye. And I worked with the best people there are. There was never a bad elected official. They were all delightful. So my closing comment is Maplewood isn't perfect, but it sure in hell is better than almost anywhere else. Go Maplewood.
Our second proclamation is in recognition of Mila Jacey, who unfortunately couldn't be with us today. When it comes to local icons, one of the first names you must mention is Mila Jacey. For over 20 years, whether it's 8 years in the Maplewood South Orange Board of Education, 2 of which she served as board president, or her 7 terms representing over 14 towns in Essex and Morris counties, Assemblywoman Jacey has not only been a neighbor, but a friend and an advocate. From her early years as a public health nurse to being the lead sponsor on bills focused on equal access in education, LGBTQ+ rights and housing, alongside supporting efforts for better women's health, whether as the chair of the Higher Education Committee, vice chair of education, co-chair of the Joint Committee on Public Schools, or a member of the Aging and Senior Services, there could never be a doubt that Maplewood was well represented in Trenton and the work that needed to be done, or work that needed to be amplified, that had a champion. Her work in Trenton is just one way that she's a public servant, as her experience ranges from being a PTA president, a member of the NAACP, the League of Women Voters, La Leche League, and countless other organizations that have benefited from what can be seen as no less than an icon or a hero. All heroes deserve to hang up their capes and enjoy spending time with people whose futures they fought to be better than their past. And for Assemblywoman Jacey, with a mother who just turned 99 and a husband who she's shared 50 years of life with, 3 children and 7 grandchildren. While we might be saddened by Mila's retirement from state assembly this month, if we want more like her, she has to spend time with her loved ones. And whether it's to continue to learn from her mom or imprint her personality, her infectious joy, and her sense of community into the next generation, that takes time. As shown by her daughter, Rena J.C. Goodman, who works as a teacher retention at Montclair State University, to her son Kyle, who's running for Congress in the 8th District, and Neil, who's a medical director at the Kessler Institute's West Orange campus. Mila has already got 1 generation down, and the world should consider itself privileged that she's already begun the joyous task of working on the next. In recognition, therefore, on behalf of the mayor of the Township of Maplewood and this first day of January 2024, I'm honored to present this proclamation in recognition for Mila Jacey. You've taken your lessons in life and pushed the world to recognize things have got to change. And whether on the picket line, in the State Assembly House, or here in Soma, you've set precedents I and my fellow committee members can only hope to follow, from governance to being the type of person who has earned every kind word ever said with ease. Thank you. We will get this proclamation to her at a
Yes.
later day.
I think giving that to Assemblywoman-elect Garnett Hall will find its way to Mila Jacey. Mila couldn't be here today. She was texting me earlier. She's got a lot on her plate today, even as she's stepping down. So every year we dedicate the reorg meeting. We call it reorg, reorganization meeting of this township committee. And this year, we are dedicating the meeting to the Maplewood Memorial Park Conservancy. So I ask members to join me. Hope I can read this without my glasses. Is that everybody? That's so great. Awesome. So as a member of the Township Committee, I've been serving as a liaison to the Maplewood Memorial Park Conservancy since 7 years ago. Yeah. So, and I am thrilled to honor them today with this proclamation. Whereas each year, the Maplewood Township Committee, during our reorganization meeting, wishes to dedicate the meeting to a person, cause, or organization. And whereas for our 2024 meeting, we wish to highlight the work and goals of the Memorial Park Conservancy. And whereas designed over 100 years ago by the renowned landscape architect firm of Brindley and Holbrook and the Olmsted brothers, and has been recognized as beautiful and historic park, beloved by residents and widely admired. And whereas Memorial Park is listed on the National and New Jersey Registers of Historic Places and designated one of the New Jersey's great public places by the American Planning Association. Whereas parks and greens are not only valuable to the community regarding its aesthetic and property values, but also provide space for recreation and physical activity, improve mental health, and create a sense of community. And whereas from having the privilege to take a walk in nature during lunch, we cannot be more lucky to have a Maplewood Memorial Park Conservancy board and volunteers as partners in not only maintaining, but improving Maplewood Memorial Park and providing educational programs about history and nature, engaging residents and events such as Painters in the Park. And whereas the public-private partnership between Maplewood Township and the Memorial Park Conservancy began in 2017, and since then, together through grants and donations, has raised almost $50,000, which has resulted in over 650 new shrubs and perennial plants and 200 trees added to the park. And whereas the Conservancy has undertaken many restoration and enhancement projects to restore the park to its former glory and beauty with thoughtful respect to the historical design and plantings, these projects are designed by Conservancy landscape designer Jennifer C. Ryan, include the multi-phase flagpole hill restoration along Donnell, the Vietnam Memorial redesign, the dedication plaque at the entrance to the park on Donnell, and multiple restorations along the river and park borders. And whereas without the fundraising talent and devoted volunteer labor, the township would never have been able to restore the park to the extent that the Conservancy already has during this brief time. And whereas the Conservancy has dedicated countless hours of volunteer time planning projects, installing plantings, and has developed a comprehensive master plan to guide the replacement of shrubs and trees. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, on behalf of the Maplewood Township Committee, do hereby proclaim 2024 as the year of the Maplewood Memorial Park Conservancy. How cool is that? Deb, you want to introduce yourself? Or you want
Yes.
me to do it.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
I'm Deborah Lyons. I'm Chair of the Conservancy. Thank you so much for this honor. We accept it on behalf of our entire board, and I'll just read their names. So if you're here, please just give a goofy little wave. Matt Brame, Andrea Curley, Mary Durante, Jenny Kirshen, Gary Nelson, Susan Newberry, Dennis Percher, Laura Tomlin, and Daniel Wright. And our landscape consultant, Jennifer Ryan, who is the architect of everything we do in the park. I'm very grateful to be part of this hardworking group. We are so fortunate that 100 years ago, this small new municipality had the civic pride and ambition to hire some of the best landscape architects of their day to create a great public space. A place that, as Percival Gallagher of the Olmsted firm noted, must reflect the ideals of the town, a pleasant place of meeting, an attractive place to pass through from one part of town to another, a place by its beauty to draw one to it. To keep Memorial Park just such a place guides our efforts today. In those efforts, we're grateful for our partnership with the Township of Maplewood and to the Township Committee for their enthusiasm and support, especially our wonderful liaison, now Mayor Nancy Adams, and to all the departments we interact with, the Clerk's Office, Administration, Finance, Community Affairs, and to our partners at Community Services, Engineering, and the folks at the Department of Public Works who are essential to the park's improvement and maintenance. We're also thankful to our community partners. In particular, this year, we want to give a shout out to the Maplewood Garden Club, YouthNet, and the Parkview Neighborhood Association. To the Historic Preservation Commission for their guidance and support, and the Maplewood Open Space Trust Fund, which has funded so many of our projects. And finally, to our many members for their goodwill and financial support, and our volunteers, the Weeding Wednesday crew, the Trash Pandas, and those working right now on our communications and branding, and many others. We look forward to our continued partnerships in the year ahead, and we have several wonderful projects in the pipeline. So thank you again. Thank you. And Happy New Year. Go out and enjoy the park in 2000.
I'd like to ask Bruno Lee, Maplewood resident, to come up and play for the memorial tribute to lost residents this past year.
Made famous by Whitney Houston. It's called
Thank you, Bruno. Next, we're going to have the memorial list and a moment of silence. These were citizens deceased in 2023 who were active in community life. And each member of the Township Committee will participate by reading several of the names.
Singer, soloist, and athlete, Maplewood resident. Stephen K. Wellesley, father of employee Michelle Wellesley, a resident for 48 years. James Jim Buchanan, Maplewood Community Music, former Director of Arts and Culture for the Township. Fred G. Bollinger, retired Maplewood firefighter, Maplewood Fire Department. Grace P. McGrath, Maplewood Community for Servicemen and Servicewomen, a resident for 62 years.
Charles Moore Gianni, lifelong Maplewoodian, Kiwanis Club, founder of the Maplewood Duck Races on Memorial Day. Phyllis E. Massey, longtime Maplewood resident, Maplewood Senior Clubs, mother of employee John Massey. Frederick Fatzler, retired Maplewood firefighter, Maplewood Fire Department. Charles Valliston, retired Maplewood firefighter, Maplewood Fire Department. Bobby Rosengarten, Seniors Advisory Committee, lover of music, arts, volunteer.
Robert Mancuso, father of employee Melissa Mancuso, who is our Director of Community Services. Jose Martinez, retired sergeant in the Maplewood Police Department for 36 years, and a Maplewood resident. Gloria P. Simpson, mother of Elizabeth Fritzen, Township Clerk. Gloria was a 60-year EMS volunteer for the Springfield First Aid Squad. Joseph Harnett, who ran the government strategy group. He was the former township manager for the Township of Montclair, and he helped us recruit and hire our current township manager, the awesome Pat Wary, who's with us here today.
William Charlie Howard, retired Maplewood DPW after 25 years, Maplewood resident for 45 years. Bernice Plesnick, mother of Detective John Plesnick, Maplewood employee, 42-year resident, Maplewood seniors. Carol Gilligan, Maplewood resident over 50 years, mother of SEFD firefighter Michael Gilligan, Maplewood Chamber of Commerce and Rotary Club. Lastly,
And Gemma Fritzen, the lovable golden retriever that was Maplewood Town Hall mascot and loyal friend to all staff and residents and township committee members.
Before we move on with our program, I would like to acknowledge a few of our esteemed guests. This is always a tricky thing to do because you're inevitably going to leave someone out. So I'm going to try not to do that. We had with us during the opening of our meeting today, Senator-elect John McKeon. And we have with us, of course, as we mentioned earlier, who led us in the Pledge of Allegiance, Assemblywoman-elect Maplewood's own Garnett Hall. Welcome again, Garnett. I also want to acknowledge former mayors and committee members of the Maplewood Township Committee that we have with us today. We have former Mayor Fred Perfetta. Sorry, Fred, I had a brain moment. Fred Perfetta. We have committee former Mayor Ellen Davenport. Ellen, you are here to witness history being made again today. We have not had a female mayor since Ellen, and that's about to change in a few moments. We're really excited about that. We have former committee member Greg Lembrick. And we have, who am I missing? Who can I not see here?
India.
Oh, of course, former committee member India Larrier. Former Vice Mayor, Deputy Mayor Ian Grodman. And former Deputy Mayor Kathy Leventhal. See, it's us,
takes a
right? It
village.
takes a village to do these things correctly. And before we move on, I also want to acknowledge Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill could not be with us today, but she did send a representative from her office, Melanie Holmes. Melanie, please stand. And thank you, Melanie, for being with us today and presenting us with this beautiful special proclamation from Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill, acknowledging you, Nancy, as our incoming mayor, and acknowledging the two of us, Vic, as being sworn in into my third term and your ninth term on the Maplewood Township Committee. So thank you for that. All right, so we're moving on to another special piece. Please welcome again Carrie Capone and Bill Talley on piano for their rendition of Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the roaring sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing us full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun, new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Thank you so much, Carrie and Bill. Now's the time for the administration of the oath of office for our newly re-elected Township Committee members. We'll start off first with Mr. Daffis. If you would come down and join me in the middle of the room. I,
Constantinos Mimi Davis.
do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear that I will
support the Constitution
support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of New Jersey. And the Constitution through faith and allegiance to the government
In this state.
in this state and in the United States, and under the authority of the people, and I will
Faithfully.
faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of Maplewood Township Committee member. Township Committee member. Through the- According to the Constitution. So help. Oh.
Prosecutor Stevens, well done. You know how to make an entrance, my friend.
Well, I've been doing this a couple years.
We are so happy to have you. Welcome. Everyone, let's acknowledge Essex County Prosecutor Ted Stevens. Esteemed guests and fellow residents of Maplewood, a very, very happy new year. I'm deeply honored and humbled to be sworn in again for my third term. Profoundly grateful for the trust you have placed in me to serve. Your unwavering support and belief in our shared vision have granted me the opportunity to continue serving our incredible community. Reflecting on our journey together, I am immensely proud of what we have accomplished during my first 2 terms on the Maplewood Township Committee. Together, we've made strides in enhancing our infrastructure, advancing our sustainability, promoting community engagement, equity, and social justice right here at home, and fostering a vibrant, inclusive community that we all call home. My commitment to serving Maplewood Township, as those of you who know me very personally, goes beyond mere dedication and hard work. It is truly a passion ingrained in every decision, every action I take. The faith placed in me by you fuels this passion, and I am resolutely committed to continuing the work that we've started. You can expect from me in the next 3 years that which you've grown accustomed to already: passionate dedication, sincerity, empathy, accessibility, and some creativity as well. As the outgoing mayor, I'm excited to witness the transfer of power to our longest serving female committee member, Nancy Adams. Let's give it up for Nancy. I get very emotional in these moments, Nancy. I'm sure you will too. Nancy, I wish you the very best as our incoming mayor. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did and be challenged by it as I have been. There will be highs and there will be lows. Your resolve will certainly be tested. May these challenges and the unforeseen lead you to tap really deep into the best of yourself. Surely all the rest of us, all the five of us, will be with you every step of the way. When reflecting on my leadership, I'd like to share the reflections of a resident who has been a reliable, constructive critic of mine. This resident recently reached out to me to thank me for my service and remarked that in my approach as mayor, in particular, I have been, quote, sensitive, thoughtful, amazingly balanced, fair, and sincere. I would say that that's pretty accurate, and I'm very proud of that. I'm also very proud of the history we have made together with my becoming Maplewood's first LGBTQ plus elected committee member and mayor, though hopefully not its last. My fellow electeds, I thank you for your support. I'm proud of our work together, especially this past most challenging year, when we proved yet again that local government can and should be the most direct and impactful source of good in people's everyday lives, more so than any other level of government. I will remain collaborative and loyal to all of you. And I must give a special note of gratitude to my running mate, the one and only Vic DeLuca, who I congratulate on his being sworn in a few moments into his 9th term in local office. Truly remarkable, Vic. You remain tireless, influential, a mentor, and a role model, inspiring to the rest of us, and especially, thank you. In 2024 and beyond, I see boundless opportunities to elevate Maplewood even further. Our collective vision is clear: to continue nurturing a community that thrives on diversity, inclusivity, and progress, and to also promote economic opportunities, our town's branding and standing statewide, to enhance our public communications and interactions with the public, to see our adopted master plan recommendations implemented, to be even greener and more sustainable, to enhance our pedestrian safety and our mobility, and to combat all forms of hate that divide and distract us from our shared humanity, goodwill, and aspirations. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of our township officials, many of them with us today, from department heads all the way down to every employee. They are the backbone of our township. They are the ones who make everything possible. Thank you all. In closing, let us embark, friends, on this new year and journey united in purpose, driven by a collective desire to make Maplewood the best it can be. Thank you for this tremendous honor. I'm eager and I'm ready. Happy New Year again.
Thank you, Mr. Daffis. Next, we'll be administering the oath of office to Mr. Victor DeLuca.
I.
Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the government established in this state, and the authority of the people, faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of Maplewood Township Mayor for the Township of Maplewood.
Yeah.
Done it wrong, you can't get it.
Good. Got a little nervous. The prosecutor was watching me sign that, you know. So Happy New Year, everybody. I'm proud and honored to have received your support for another term on the Maplewood Township Committee. Thank you for joining me on my 8,766th day in office. You know, I love this job and give it all that I can. My commitment to Maplewood and to improving the lives of those who live and work here is as strong as ever. I look forward to the next 3 years to get things done and to make our community the best it can be. Congratulations to my running mate, Dean Daffis. Dean, your leadership as mayor over the past 2 years was outstanding. We appreciate all you did. You are smart, tireless, and Maplewood is fortunate to have you on the Township Committee for another 3 years. Let's give it up for Dean. Thank you to the Maplewood Democratic Party Chair, Ian Grodman, and Vice Chair Garnett Hall. We appreciate your leadership and your wisdom. And congratulations, Garnett. We'll see you in Trenton on January 9th for your swearing in. Thanks also to the Democratic district leaders. And I see a bunch of you out there. Would you stand if you're a Democratic district leader, please? Come on. You worked hard in last November's election, in which we had 23% of Maplewood voters turning out compared to 17% countywide. That was a nice job. Janie. You are my biggest supporter, my best friend, my partner in life, and my love. Thank you for sharing me with Maplewood. I could have not done any of this without you by my side. And I'm fortunate to serve with three extraordinary women, Nancy, Jermaine, and Deborah. Nancy, I look forward to your leadership as our mayor and stand ready to assist you in any way possible. And speaking of women, I hope you are as excited as I am. For the first time in Maplewood's 100-plus year history, we have a woman mayor, a woman deputy mayor, a woman state senator, 2 women General Assembly members, a woman as District 2 Essex County Commissioner, and a woman in the House of Representatives. There's no other municipality in the state who can say that. Guys, got to give up that clapping. Kind of quiet over there. I see a couple of you. You know, today we celebrate democracy. Dozens, probably hundreds of county and municipal buildings across New Jersey and the United States. Elected officials are being sworn in like we were to represent the people in their communities. We all take the same oath to uphold the Constitution. And no one, from township committee to president, should violate that oath. And if they do, they should pay the consequences. The upcoming 2024 election is going to be the most consequential in modern history. The future is in our hands, and we must organize and take action from now through November. You cannot afford to sit this one out. During the next year, I don't intend to do much sitting. We're hard at work to ensure that by Labor Day, you'll walk through the doors of the new Maplewood Memorial Library. It'll be a magnificent building, the most environmentally sustainable library in the state. And for every dollar we're spending, 40 cents is coming from the state and federal governments and the Maplewood Library Foundation. I want to thank Library Director Sarah Lester and Ben Cohen and former Mayor Ellen Davenport and all the board members of the Library Foundation for your vision and dedication. I also want to give a shout out to my partner in all things fire department, South Orange Village President Sheena Collum. Sheena and I spent many hours over many years hammering out the framework for the establishment of the South Essex Fire Department, and now it's a reality. The South Essex Fire Department, the only consolidated fire department in the state of 2 separate municipalities, is better able to provide fire and emergency services to the people of Maplewood and South Orange. It was a huge accomplishment. There's a lot more I hope to accomplish over the next 12 months, including creating more affordable housing opportunities, reducing fees at the Maplewood Pool, making improvements to our infrastructure, sewers, roads, buildings to meet present and future demands, strengthening police and community relations, advancing pedestrian and bike safety, and promoting environmental sustainability. I'm very happy, as Dean mentioned, the new master plan. Well, the new master plan talks about a one Maplewood approach, and we must walk our talk. We've made headway on Irvington Avenue, but need to do more. Springfield Avenue has come a long way, and we need to continue with that effort. And from Berkeley Road on the Milburn border to Berkeley Street on the Irvington line, our actions must back up our words about valuing diversity and inclusivity and about being a welcoming community. Now, I believe that leaders must use their voices. As an elected official, I will not be a bystander. I'll continue to advocate for social, economic, and racial justice. I'll speak out against anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. I'll fight for the rights and safety of LGBTQ plus and transgender people. And I'll keep lobbying for stronger gun laws. Now, let me take a moment to thank our township employees, who are led by a great group of department heads. Our employees come to work every day to make our lives better, and we appreciate their dedication. And I especially want to recognize and thank Township Clerk Liz Fritzen and just retired Township Attorney Roger Desiderio. And I'm very happy that we hired Patrick Weary as our new Township Administrator. I also want to thank the hundreds of volunteers we have in town, from coaching to playing music in the park, to serving on a board or committee, to participating in a civic group. We would not be a terrific town without your help. And I encourage all our residents to get involved in some way to improve our community. So like Dean, I say get ready for 2024, and I am. I am motivated and energized, and I hope you are too. Again, Happy New Year, and thank you.
Congratulations again, Vic. I want to acknowledge a couple of guests that we failed to acknowledge. Essex County Commissioner-elect A. Doreen Murray Thomas, thank you for being with us. Thank you. We're excited about your representing us at the county, and congratulations on your historic win as well. Really, really excited to be working with you. And we had with us, I don't think he's here any longer, but he was Summit, City of Summit Council President Greg Varden. Greg, are you still here? No, but Greg was here, and we wanted to acknowledge that as well. Is that right? Okay, that's it. Okay.
Members of the Township Committee, I now call for the nomination for Chair of the Township Committee for the year 2024.
I nominate Nancy Adams.
I second the nomination.
Are there any other nominations for Chair of the Township Committee for the year 2024?
I move the nominations be closed.
Second the motion.
I'll take a roll call now. Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Ms. Cripe?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yeah.
Mr. DeLuca?
Yes.
Ms. Engel?
Yes.
I declare Nancy Adams a duly elected Chair of the Township Committee for the year 2024.
So I did not just suddenly grow. It's not going to happen now, that's for sure. Happy New Year, everybody. Wow, I'm honored to serve this year as your mayor. And I thank my colleagues for choosing me to serve as mayor of the first women majority township committee in the history of Maplewood.
Yeah.
As chair of the township committee, I look forward to working together with all of you as a true committee, and will chair accordingly. I want to recognize and thank Mayor Ellen Davenport for her years of service before and still. Mayor Davenport was the first woman mayor of Maplewood, and until today, the only woman mayor in the history of Maplewood, as we've said. And I'm happy to break that rather sad practice. by becoming the second woman mayor of this wonderful town. There will be more. But even with all our strides towards equality, women still don't run for office enough. And even when they do, they don't serve as long as our male counterparts. So I encourage more women in our community to run for elected office. It's hard, but very rewarding work. Thank you to Mr. Daffis for your hard work as our chair and mayor for the last 2 years. And thank you for your help already in the transition of our leadership. Much different than Washington, D.C. a few years ago.
That's for sure. Yes.
And thanks to my family, including my siblings, who reminded me how proud my mom and dad would be right now, even though they were Republicans. To my kids, Maggie, Thomas, Michael, Kristen, and Oscar, I hope I'm modeling community service and leadership for you, and that you also can be proud of it, and that you step up and do something for your communities too. Thanks to my very good friends who are here today and our great sounding boards who provide fun times to balance the life of this public servant. Thanks to all of you who are here today in support. And a special shout out to my sister from another Mr., Amy Simon. There she is. And her mom is my substitute mom. Thanks for being here, Bubby. And to my co-conspirator and partner in crime starting 31 years ago, who flew back to Maplewood yesterday from St. Louis to be here for my swearing in, Deborah Cochran. Now, everybody in Maplewood would know you as Deborah Trumper. But for those of us who knew us back when we were picking up garbage and cleaning graffiti on Springfield Avenue and attending Economic Development Commission meetings every month, bringing up Springfield Avenue, Springfield Avenue, Springfield Avenue, and founding College Hill Neighborhood Association together, going to Washington to march for women's right to choose. We may have to do that again. Holding up our Thelma and Louise were right signs. And as leaders in the League of Women Voters of Maplewood and South Orange. And we were busy and we had little kids. So it can be done, women of America. Thank you to my husband, Sal, for your continued support of me and my work on the governing body, including all the evenings you have to wait for me to come home to watch the Villanova basketball game on delay. I love you. Special thanks to Maplewood Democratic Committee for all your hard work as district leaders, and to Chair Ian Grobman and Vice Chair and now Assemblywoman-elect Garnett Hall for your support and counsel always. Thank you. To the Maplewood community, it is truly an honor and a privilege to stand before you on my stool today as your mayor. I want to assure each and every one of you that I am committed to continue working tirelessly for the betterment of this town. I promise to serve with integrity, diligence, and honesty. This community means a great deal to me, and I'm personally invested in seeing it thrive and prosper as it does today. And with that, I'll move on to the State of the Township address. And I want to recognize all of the things we do, but I also will try not to bore you all because this is that kind of speech. But we have such great things that have happened in 2023 in Maplewood. We gained some stability that we struggled for a few years by hiring Maplewood resident Patrick Weary as our new township administrator, and recently welcomed our new assistant administrator, Shebra Jones. We welcome both of you and know that we are in good, stable hands, finally. Thank you. Mr. Wary, you hit the ground running when we began last spring, getting a lot done in a short period of time. During your brief tenure here, Patrick was able to help us save money by transitioning out of the state health benefits plan, where rates have been rising ridiculously fast, and entering us into a municipal joint insurance program that will result in savings to both township employees and taxpayers. This year, We undertook a salary study of non-union employees that Patrick oversaw to ensure equity and competitiveness on hiring of our fabulous staff. And in the last few months of 2023, the administration hired a new superintendent in public works, a new construction code official, and we recently hired a new township attorney to take the place of the irreplaceable Roger Desiderio. And we look forward to working with Jennifer Cardidio as our new municipal attorney.
Good.
Oh, Mr. DeLuca deservedly spoke about the library that he's worked so hard on. I will just confirm and reiterate, our new library is under construction, and despite delays dealing with some asbestos and a huge oil tank, we are on track for opening the new library in September of 2024.
Yeah.
I took a tour recently, and I'm so excited about the design and the amenities that will be included in the new state-of-the-art library. The library will embrace our beautiful Maplewood Memorial Park and allow people inside the building to see the park, while the view from those in the park will not be a big brick wall, but a reflection of glass reflecting the park's trees. It's really a thoughtful and wonderful design. It's coming to life, and we are looking forward to a ribbon cutting and in opening in just 8 or 9 short months. And we're shooting for Labor Day, right, Sarah? Okay. As an environmentalist, I'm especially appreciative of the LEED Gold certification that the library design has. Qualities that enhance a building for LEED certification, just so you know, is water efficiency, green energy, indoor environmental quality, innovation in design, and a lot more. And our new library will be entirely electric with full solar energy. The only fossil fuels will be for the generator should we have another hurricane of some sort. The Library Foundation also ran a capital campaign to support the library, including a brick campaign and a solar grant for $100,000. Our library staff is led by Director Sarah Lester, is second to none, as is shown by their personal and professional compliments and community engagement. I thank this dedicated team for all their hard work in keeping services running while working out of various spaces in town while the main branch is under construction. It's a lot of work, and the community is so lucky to have you to continue library services with all these challenges. I thank you. And a big thank you to the Maplewood Library Board and the Foundation for getting this fabulous project so far. And a special thanks to Committeeman Vic DeLuca for his unparalleled work and leadership on this project. In public safety, I'm pleased to report that overall, crime in Maplewood is down. Robberies have decreased by half from 2022 to 2023. Theft is down 15%. Auto theft is down 42%. These decreases are largely due to police patrol initiatives and extra officers in certain areas of town, determined by monthly meetings that Chief Sally has with police supervisors to discuss areas of public concern, crime statistics, and to determine where to place officers. Also, the Maplewood Detective Bureau made several arrests during their investigations of these crimes. And while this is very good news, aggravated assaults increased from 8 to 14 from year to year, and burglary increased slightly from 26 to 29. Almost all the aggravated assault cases were domestic violence instances that resulted in arrests. The Maplewood Community Engagement Unit has put out public safety announcements on how to secure homes, vehicles, and other crime prevention tips, thus the decrease in our thefts for autos in particular. I want to thank Chief Al Sally and Deputy Chief Nahima Malloy for your leadership of the entire department and for all of your officers and staff for their hard work in keeping this community safe. Thank you. After a dozen years of studies, discussions, and negotiations, we fully merged the Maplewood and South Orange Fire Departments into the South Essex Fire Department, With 71 uniformed personnel, 3 firehouses, and 5 fire trucks, the SEFD is able to respond to fires and other emergencies with more firefighters more quickly. In 2023, the SEFD answered nearly 5,000 calls, the majority being emergency medical services in Maplewood. The department also responded to 63 building fires. Chief Alvarez reports that combined department is working well and everyone is getting used to the new system. So thanks to the SEFD and all those who are here from there. Thank you. Our health department, under the leadership of Candace Davenport, was the recipient of the Gold Star in Health from Sustainable Jersey. Maplewood, yeah. Maplewood was the only town in the state to get this recognition in 2023 and only the 3rd town in the state at all to receive that. It's an example of how our health department strives to add health to all of our policies that are in our town and taking progressive and innovative holistic approaches to public health and to the environment. In addition, our health department's service to our town, we also provided essential, consistent public health services to our neighbor in South Orange with our shared service agreement. We secured an agreement with Bloomfield for animal control, which is so important when we abruptly lost our previous services in 2022. We also expanded the crisis intervention social worker program with a new part-time social worker, and both of our social workers in those roles are Maplewood residents, as our director, Davenport. Moving on to engineering and public works, under the direction of Paul Kittner, our engineering department worked on many projects this year, including paving 4.4 miles of our roads. And bonus, thanks to Paul and his staff closely monitoring the work of PSE&G, we got another 2.5 miles paved this year. So that's pretty good because you have to stay on top of PSE&G when they're doing projects or they'll just leave. So thank you for that, Paul. Since I've been serving, I've been asking our engineer to include infrastructure, green infrastructure in our projects and our road designs whenever possible. And most recently, the 44th Street Rain Garden, which we received another Sustainable Jersey Award at the League of Municipalities in November for its innovation and design. So thank you for that. That's where we got to keep going to control what's happening within the environment. All year round, we work on traffic calming and pedestrian safety projects that include traffic data collection, analysis, discussion, sometimes public hearings, and implementation of various forms of traffic calming. We also make sure to phase in any traffic calming elements that like striping or speed humps so that we're not doing more than necessary to achieve that safety and not spend unnecessary taxpayer dollars. So it's been really effective. Some key traffic calming areas this year we introduced at the intersection of Tuscan, Burnett, and Springfield Avenue. We did so on Summit Ave and Midland Boulevard. And for decades-long problem intersection at Jefferson and Maplewood Avenues. I think we finally picked.
Yes.
That was a huge lift, so thank you for that. Engineering coordinated the installation of 5 new public EV charging stations throughout the township and worked on maintaining our township buildings, with most of which, like this beautiful one, are over 100 years old. So it's not as easy for those of us who live in old houses, we know. But these beautiful historic town hall, the Woodland, the Civic House, the Bergdorf, the police building, and the Hilton Library needed repairs too. So they've been working hard. Under the direction of Paul Kittner, also as the Department of Public Works, they're always busy maintaining our parks and properties throughout the township, along with all municipal vehicles, tree planting and removals, road repairs, stormwater and sewer repairs, including jetting miles of sewer lines this year to keep that functioning. And you really know how important that is when it's not functioning. So you need to be happy about that. There was a concerted effort in 2023 to continue the expansion of tree planting throughout the town. something I personally have been advocating for since I got on the Township Committee. We have made great strides and planted 300 trees this year. 2/3 of those were in all of our parks all throughout town. The department has also revised the previous culture by emphasizing pruning over removal wherever possible for our trees, for both privately and publicly owned trees. We need to keep our tree canopy, especially as our temperatures rise. Along with the Department of Community Services, DPW maintained and cleaned our community fridge, helping those who are in need, and installed a free library there too. DPW and engineering have been studying ways to improve conditions at D Hart Field while maintaining it as a natural grass field, as is the desire of the community based on 2 referendums voting down artificial turf. Our recycling program changed dramatically in 2023 from single stream to dual stream. This change required residents to remember to separate their cardboard and paper from the rest of their recycling and to put each out at the curb on opposite weeks. It also required the township to clearly communicate the changes and the schedule, which we did by launching an SMS text messaging system for non-emergencies to the public. I'm proud to have worked on this for almost 2 years of meetings with South Orange officials, including Bill Haskins and Karen Hilton, trustees in South Orange, to try to get more bids and better pricing for both towns' recycling programs. And I'm even more proud and happy to report that the new system that has created a cleaner stream of recycling being collected and brought to a new vendor, resulting in fewer penalties for contaminated recycling and more profitable sales of what they collect, resulting in a savings of over $100,000 to Maplewood just in 2023 alone. This year also marked the first year that gas-powered leaf blowers were prohibited all year long in Maplewood. We are the first township in the state of New Jersey to ban these dirty fossil fuel burning engines year-round. This was followed this year by Montclair doing the same, and likely more will do it also. There are also 2 bills drafted at the state event to ban gas-powered leaf blowers statewide because of the emissions they emit and the damage to the environment and to the health of New Jersey residents that they cause. We are also noticing a difference this year in the amount of leaves being collected. Anecdotally, since we don't have the numbers yet, we are seeing a change, and hopefully that's because residents and landscapers are mulching more of the leaves into the ground, resulting in fewer leaves being brought to the curb for pickup. This will ultimately save us money in the seasonal leaf pickup work done by DPW. Once again, this shows that environmentally progressive practices not only help the environment, but can save us money. And speaking of the environment, we were also recognized by Sustainable Jersey yet again for the Sustainable Jersey Silver certification with 555 points this year. That's more than 200 points higher than the 350 needed for silver certification, which is the highest level available. The Sustainable Jersey certification avails us training and tools for green initiatives for our town and also to grants that we would otherwise not be able to apply for. More importantly, the initiatives we undertake for points, including creating a community energy plan like we did this year, make us more environmentally aware and sustainable. On to our Department of Community Services under the leadership of Melissa Mancuso, along with her hardworking staff, continues to offer our community a plethora of varied recreational and cultural activities. They have continued offering and enhancing softball, basketball, tennis, ultimate frisbee to children, adults, and seniors alike, along with goat yoga, skating, arts and craft classes, and more. This department also manages the pool, offering new classes and swim lessons along with day-to-day operation of the pool, which included a huge capital improvement project this year that will keep the pool facility running fit for decades to come in the future. In 2024, we are working, as Mr. DeLuca mentioned, on lowering the fees for our pool to enable more and more residents to be able to join, and hope to continue to lower them year after year. The Arts and Culture Division of the Department of Community Services did a complete redesign of their website and launched new social media accounts to improve communication to the public. They hosted 7 successful exhibitions at 1978 Arts Center, including raising $7,500 for the ACLU Drag Defense Fund. That's a mouthful. Along with cooperation on events and local theater groups and putting on concerts at the gazebo, the department launched this year the first ever Mapso Follies in November, which was a huge success, drawing over 400 people to watch their friends and neighbors perform at the Woodland. It was such a fun night. It was really great. Other events, because there's so many in your department, Missy. Other events in 2023 were the Lunar Fest, the West African Beats Night, Django A Go-Go, Studio Bergdorf, and Broadway in the Park, to name a few. The department also helps coordinate Black History, Women's History, and Pride Month activities, helping us recognize and celebrate all those groups. So thank you. Thank you for all of them. The Township Clerk's Office is always busy in the important work of keeping resident and township records. In 2023, the office, along with our new administration, successfully created a way to use our current technology so that the Township Committee could meet in person and people could actively participate online with hybrid meetings. This was a heavy lift and a lot of coordinated work, and I thank Dean Daffis as mayor, Amari Allah, and Patrick Wary for their hard work on the successful effort. So thank you. The clerk's office also transitioned processes so that online payments can now be done by residents, lessening the need for paper. The office appointed a new in-house registrar to allow for those services during normal business hours again, and began a massive scanning process of past ordinances and resolutions. Our award-winning clerk, Liz Fritzen, leads her team, including Deputy Clerk Amari Allah and Ed Starzinski. And of course, there are the annual celebrations that Liz coordinates for the employee pool appreciation at the pool, Veterans Day program, which is always so great, and volunteer appreciation dinner, just to name a few of them. The Department of Community Development, Annette looks up, works year-round on construction permitting, code enforcement, and all things planning and approvals. In construction, almost 2,000 permits at just under $1 million in fees collected were processed in 2023, and with almost 5,000 inspections for construction code compliance. Property maintenance, there were 1,800 notices of violation. Only 300 of those resulted in summonses. And our code enforcement team made almost 3,300 inspections. The Department of Community Development, under the leadership of Annette De Palma, applied for and received close to $1 million in grants for road work and beautification on Springfield Avenue, for a preservation plan at the Woodland. Additional shout out to Daniel Wright, our acting chair of the Historic Preservation Commission, for his work on this, and a huge grant for senior ADA compliant electric bus. So thank you for that. I'd like to recognize the HPC on their hard work in general, but this year their achievement of getting our Maplewood Village designated on the state and national registers of historic places, and for achieving the award of the grant to do the preservation study of the Woodland. It's vital to maintain our history through our buildings and homes, and HPC works on that too year-round. Thank you. Associated with the Department of Community Development, our zoning and planning boards are administered by Adele Lewis, our land use administrator. Adele serves as secretary to both boards and has been doing so for quite a while and so well. Both were busy this year, but in August, the planning board adopted a new master plan for the township. This was a culmination of a subcommittee of the planning board under chair Karen Pashota and led by board member Liz Ward, with several representatives from other organizations and groups, held many community meetings, and the planning firm got a lot of input from the community, input that led to a comprehensive master plan that reflects what our community wants its community of Maplewood to be. It's a huge lift, and we ended up with an excellent end product as a result of the hard work of so many volunteers and staff. The township has also continued to include affordable housing units in all of our new housing developments, ensuring equity in housing so that more people can have the pleasure of living in this great town. So as you can tell, the state of the township is not only excellent, it is very, very busy. You are blessed to have a township staff that is dedicated and hardworking. They have to be, because you also have a governing body that is dedicated and hardworking. And maybe more than the staff would like us to be, but seriously, though, it's a pleasure to continue to serve this community. I, again, thank my colleagues for their faith in me to chair this year, and it's an honor to serve this community as your mayor. Please stop by my home at 67 Harvard Avenue for an open house after we conclude today. You are all welcome to be there. I have plenty of libations and food and my somewhat infamous Christmas cookies as well. So thank you all, and happy New Year. Thank you. Okay. We all want to get to my house. Now my friend and my husband have to go sneak out to make sure everything's cold and stuff for y'all to drink. You are excused. And now I'd like the members of the Township Committee, I call for your nomination for Deputy Chair of the Township Committee for the year 2024.
I nominate Jermaine Kripe.
I second that nomination.
I move the nominations be closed.
I second the motion.
Ms. Gripe, Mr. Daffis,
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca.
Yes.
Ms. Engel.
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes. Congratulations.
I'd like to declare Ms. Kripe as the duly elected Deputy Chair of the Township Committee for the year 2024.
Probably applause.
Okay, let's keep this meeting moving. Got it. Okay, resolutions?
Yes, Mayor. Resolution number 1-24. It's adopting the bylaws of the Township of Maple.
I move resolution 1-24.
I second the motion.
Ms. Kripe,
Yes.
Mr. Daffis,
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca.
Yes.
Ms. Engel.
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes. We have the 2024 confirmation of appointments for staff. I will read those.
Move them.
Move them first and then I'll read them. Thank you, Mayor. I move the staff appointments for 2024, and I'd like to read the following appointments. Our business administrator, Patrick Weary. Assistant business administrator, Glashibra S. Jones. Court administrator, Ryan Bancroft. Director of Community Services, Melissa Mancuso. Director of Community Development, Annette De Palma. Director of Public Works and Township Engineer, Paul Kittner. Health Officer, Candace Davenport. Township Attorney, Jennifer Credidio. Treasurer, Joe Kaloje. Public Defender, Dennis Cleary. Registrar of Vital Statistics, Edward Sturzinski. Deputy Registrar of Vital Statistics, Elizabeth J. Fritzen. Tax Searcher, Joseph Kaloje. Custodian of Township Records, Elizabeth J. Fritzen. Deputy Custodian of Township Records, Chief Albert Sally. Deputy Custodian of Township records, fire official Robert Conklin. Board of Health for 3 years, Dean Daffis, Victor DeLuca. Qualified purchasing agent, April Miller. Tax collector, Joseph Kaloje. Tax assessor, Thomas DeCourt. Supervisor of certifying agent, pension funds, Joseph Kaloje. Certifying agent, pension funds, April Miller. Americans Disability Act coordinator, Patrick Weary. Public agency compliance officer, Patrick Weary. Municipal housing liaison, Patrick Weary. Designated employer representative, Paul Kittner. Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
Ms. Cripe,
Yes.
Mr. Daffis,
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca.
Yes.
Ms. Engel,
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, we'll roll into, also read by title, resolution number 2-24, appointing municipal prosecutor Annette De Palma and assistant municipal prosecutor Gracia Montillis.
I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second.
Ms. Cripe,
Yes.
Mr. Daffis,
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca.
Yes.
Ms. Engel.
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes.
Next, we have resolution also read by title 3-24, adding Tap Into Soma and Village Green as electronic news sources to which notices and other matters are to be provided under the Open Public Meetings Act.
I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second.
Ms. Cripe,
Yes.
Mr. Daffis,
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca.
Yes.
Ms. Engel.
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes. Thank you.
And item number resolution 4-24, appointing municipal deputy emergency management coordinators.
I move for the adoption of this resolution.
Second.
Ms. Cripe,
Yes.
Mr. Daffis,
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca.
Yes.
Ms. Engel.
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes.
Members of the Township Committee, I now call for nominations for the Township Maplewood representative to the joint meeting of Essex and Union Counties for the year 2024.
I nominate Nancy Adams.
I second the nomination of Nancy Adams.
I move nominations be closed.
I second the motion.
Ms. Cripe,
Yes.
Mr. Daffis,
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca.
Yes.
Ms. Engel.
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes.
I declare Nancy Adams a duly elected Maplewood representative to the joint meeting of Essex and Union Counties for the year 2024.
Members of the Township Committee, it is necessary at this time to elect 3 members and 1 alternate of the Township Committee to represent the Township on the Board of School Estimate for the School District of South Orange and Maplewood in accordance with Chapter 232 of the laws of 1953. I now call for nominations of the Board of School Estimate for the year 2024.
I nominate Nancy Adams, Deborah Engel, and Jermaine Kripe to represent the township on the Board of School Estimate, and Dean Daffis as the alternate on the Board of School Estimate.
I second the motion.
I move the nominations be closed.
I second that motion.
Ms. Cripe,
Yes.
Mr. Daffis,
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca.
Yes.
Ms. Engel.
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Yes, thank you. I declare Nancy Adams, Deborah Engel, and Jermaine Kripe and Dean Daffis as the alternate duly elected members of the Board of School Estimate for the year 2024.
Next, we have the consent agenda.
I move the consent agenda.
I second the motion.
Ms. Cripe,
Yes.
Mr. Daffis,
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca,
Yes.
Ms. Engel.
Yes.
Mayor Adams.
Thank you. Members of the public, I now open the microphone with the assistance of Township Administrator Weary, who will be monitoring people who are Zooming in today. An invitation to address the Township Committee. If you'd like to address the Township Committee, come up to the microphone, introduce yourself and your address, and you may speak.
Happy New Year. Good afternoon. I'm Erin Scherzer. I live at 49 Oberlin Street, congratulations, Mayor Adams. I've was working with you from the very, very beginning of your campaign. I'm here to speak to the Township Committee because I know that's where our comments are directed, but I recognize there are other elected officials in the room, and I believe that they need to hear these comments as well. In addition to living and being a proud Maplewood resident, I'm one of the many Maplewood residents who take the train, New Jersey Transit, every day to New York City. I heard very clearly, Mayor Adams, your words about wanting more people to step up and serve. We have a major issue if we want more people to step up and serve, because we're at a different time now where we have to have dual professional households, where people can't work at home or stay at home, and they have to commute to the city to pay their taxes and to keep this vibrant community. All the accomplishments that we heard today are on the backs of our dedicated professionals here in our municipality, but also on the backs of thousands of hours of volunteers. And if we want that to continue, we need to have our elected officials of all levels, even you, soon elected Assemblywoman-elect Garnett, really pushing Trenton to fix New Jersey Transit. It's no secret that the Green Line, the Morris-Essex line, is the one that has the most trouble. We all see it. Somebody created a bingo card in our community of all the issues that New Jersey Transit face. This impacts us in our jobs. It impacts us in terms of serving our community. And I beg that you please, please, please push New Jersey Transit to fix the trains. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to address the Township Committee? Seeing none, we'll ask for Mr. Wary if there's anyone online who wants to. I know you all want to get to my house, right?
If any members of the public joining us on Zoom would like to speak in public portion, please raise your hand now. I see no hands, Mayor.
Great. Okay, I'd like to invite up the soloist for our Maplewood resident, Carrie Capone, and Bill Talley on the piano. This is our closing song. Thank you so much.
And I invite you to all sing along, if you would. God bless America. Stand beside her. With the love from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, wide before so sweet home. So sweet home.
I'd like to invite Troop 60 of the Boy Scouts of America to come and post the colors.
Oh, I knew that was gonna happen. I was like, go loud.
Mayor, I move we adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Mr. Daffis, to adjourn.
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca?
Yes.
Ms. Engel?
Yes.
Mayor Adams?
Yes, thank you. Happy New Year, everybody.